Hello, it's Darren from Moonhair Studio, and today I'm going to talk about something which has solved all of my foot pedal problems: Midi Expression from Audiofront. So what I'm going to talk about today is the way that you can get foot pedal connectivity into your keyboard, no matter whether it has any outputs on the back or not. This would be particularly useful if your controller doesn't have enough foot pedal inputs. For instance, my Nectar Impact 88 note keyboard here that I take on the road with me only has one sustain pedal input. It doesn't have anything for expression or any other kind of controls, and I do like to have a foot pedal to switch up between patches when I'm playing a song and I don't want to take my hands off the keyboard. But equally, if you're composing on a small 25 note keyboard and that's just slung in your laptop case and you're on the road, sometimes those keyboards again don't have any way of having a sustain pedal, and especially if you're a pianist, that's really frustrating
because I'm a sustain pedal whore.
And it can impact on the way that your workflow is and your composition. So what it actually is, this device, it just looks a bit like a foot switch kind of splitter, so that you could plug 4 foot switches in to one socket, but it's not. The connector on the back is a USB. This plugs into your laptop and it gives you an awesome level of control over your foot pedals, which you just simply wouldn't have by plugging them into your keyboard. So let's take a look at what this device can do, and specifically at the software that controls it. So the Midi Expression pedal interface is available from Audiofront, and it comes in 3 flavors. You've got a single input version, which would be great for those composers on their laptops in the hotel room that have got a tiny little keyboard with no inputs on at all, so you could fit your sustain pedal in using that one. That's the cheapest of the 3. You've got the version that I've got, which has got 4 inputs, and I'm using 3 of those on the road, and I'm glad to have the spare as well if I need to add something else in. And then there's another 4 input version, but that actually has MIDI in and out on the back as well, and that's the most expensive of the 3 versions. But what you really get from this is not just this little interface itself, but you get the software, which really makes this something special. So let's take a look at that. So I clicked on the download section, and there's actually a new update for this particular software, so I'm going to download that now. I'm on Windows, so we'll click on Windows and we'll save that file, and we'll click on the folder, double click to start this up, and we'll do the setup. I mean, this is all standard stuff. You'll be used to this. I'm going to check the 64-bit VST, and I'll also have the standalone as well. Accept all of the usual stuff and just click through, and then we're good. There we go. Simple as that. So let's open up the software. That's Midi Expression. Comes up in your screen. I mean, it may well come up minimized like that. This is totally resizable, so it's pretty useful. And you've got 4 slots on this particular one for the 4 different foot pedals. What we'll do is we'll take a Yamaha FC5, which is just a standard sustain pedal. This unit will detect it automatically. It's a sort of plug and play pretty much, and you can see there now we've got a sustain pedal pictured here. It's on a control change of 0, 1, 2, 7 when you put the pedal down, so that's pretty much a standard sustain. You can invert, so if you've got a pedal that's running on a different polarity to the Yamaha, then you can invert it so that it's giving the other way round, obviously, or you can have it as a toggle on, toggle off. I mean, this is all really useful stuff, so you can set it up exactly how you want your foot pedal to go. You've got various ways of controlling parameters. You can do all sorts of control changes, program changes, even keystrokes you can program into a pedal. Now, you know, whether that would be particularly useful for an on-off sustain pedal, who knows, but it could be useful for specific purposes. You can get it to increment or decrement. So again, for stepping up and down, maybe through patches or something like that. But as I say, probably the basic use for that would be as a sustain. Right, so next up, we've got the Boss dual foot switch, which has an A and a B switch on it. So this is what I use live for swapping up and down between songs or patches on my keyboard. You can plug two cables in the back because it's got an A and a B for switch A and switch B, but I've plugged a stereo cable into channel B, and that will control both, and that frees up one of the sockets on there. We'll just plug that in, and it's detected as a dual switch, and you can see you've got the two switches there. When you press those, you get different amounts, and you can change then the CC numbers and the channels. You know, all of this is programmable. So I would select my up and down for my patches in Gig Performer, but anything can be put in there, and in fact you could have all sorts of different control changes for the different sides of the pedal there. So you've got an awful lot of different stuff that you can do. Note on off, program changes, control changes, all sorts of things. But certainly for CC controlling, this is a brilliant little programmable device. Both sides again can be inverted or toggled, so you've got a lot of control over different things that are going on there. And as I say, for me, that's brilliant because I can actually use that for up and down through songs. And finally, let's have a look at the Roland EV5, which is a standard volume or perhaps expression. I mean, I would use that with I don't know, a CC 11 as an expression pedal, or maybe a CC1 as a modulation, which would be great for, you know, most sample sets. Let's just plug that in, and that's gone in here, and now we've got a controller. You can set the maximum and minimum, so you could have it going from, you know, sort of 44 to 99 if you want. So you've got full control over how sensitive that pedal is. And again, you know, here we go, it's on MIDI channel 1 at the moment and CC1, so that's the expression controller, but you could have it on 7 as a volume control, whatever. And again, you can change the sort of things like, here we go, pitch bend. So you could pitch bend notes using your foot controller. You can invert it the other way if that's the way you want it, so going from top to bottom, bottom to top. All sorts of different things that you can do with it. The only thing that I can't show you is a hi-hat controller, because I don't have one of those. I don't have any MIDI drums or anything, but you can see that all of these pretty standard pedals are being picked up by that unit, and you can just program them to do whatever you want within this MIDI Expression software. So if I've got one very minor niggle, it's just that a box like this with channels 1 to 4, it would have been handy to number them, because if you turn it the other way up, you're going 4 to 1, and in a darkened venue, you can be plugging pedals in and out trying to get them back into the right socket. So I've just used my usual stickers, and that does the job fine. But it's a great unit. This wasn't meant as a tutorial how to use all the features of the software, just to give you an idea that you can program almost anything into these foot switches that you want to do. And for me, it's been an absolutely brilliant experience for live gigging and being able to use whatever controllers I want within my programs and control them. So hope that was good. Thumbs up if it was, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.